One of the most powerful modifiers found in any 3D software is the Boolean. All 3D software is going to have some version of this, and they're very powerful because they get results that I think modelers are frequently after, but they're also a little risky in that they can create some unclean geometry that we'll see later on in the lessons can be a problem. But let's go ahead and start by adding a few objects. I'm going to add a cube, and I'm going to add a UV sphere. Position them in a way so that they collide with one another. So I'll kind of just, mouse around in a way that I can tell that they collide with one another. Maybe I'll even make my cube just a little bit bigger. So that way it is crystal clear that the cube and the sphere are colliding with each other. So I have sphere, I have cube. I'm going to move those. Yeah, they're fine as they are actually. And I'm going to add a modifier. This modifier is going to be a generator. So we have deformers that we messed with before. Now we're looking at generators. And I want this Boolean generator. The Boolean generator seeks to intersect, find the union of, or the difference of two objects. This Boolean modifier went on top of my cube, so the object that I want it to work with is going to be the sphere. So I can click and select the sphere, or I can eyedropper the sphere. Two different ways of getting that done. And I can then evaluate the results of that Boolean operation. Now, at first look, when I click through these, the results can be a little bit jarring because difference looks okay, but nothing's really happening. Union looks like, oh gosh, this thing caught some kind of weird polygon disease. And this one looks similar, but then my cube is gone. And it might not make a whole lot of sense as to why. Well, there's some z-fighting happening because it actually created some duplicate geometry. So turn off your sphere, and things might look a little bit more like what you expect. That is the difference between these two objects of the cube subtracting the sphere space, the union of those two objects, which kind of looks like it did before, or the intersection of those two objects, which is really just the part that collides between the two. So make sure you remove or hide that object that was missing. So Boolean actually, once you show it, is really simple, but it can get some really profound results. Before I commit this, I can still select my sphere, turn it on, grab my sphere, and I can still move it around, and then turn it off, right? Move it all around. I can increase its size. So this is non-destructive. Whoops, that's not what I intended to do. Non-destructive initially, but simply turning off my sphere shows that Boolean operation in play. We can make this permanent, however. So if you recall, with your object selected, you can apply these settings. So clicking apply now makes that cube permanent. I can delete my sphere. I can go into edit mode. Oops. And now I can select those polygons because they're permanent. Undo a few of these steps. So now it's back to the way it was. Turn off the sphere. You'll notice that when I'm in edit mode before the Boolean takes place, nothing's happened to my cube. Nothing permanently has changed. So my cube is just the way it was. So this can be kind of confusing when you're first working with Booleans. If you're in object mode, things look great, but you can't touch anything. If you're in edit mode, things look bad. It doesn't look like anything's happened, and I can still edit things there. So what's going on? Keep in mind that you have to commit these Boolean modifiers if you want to see the results in edit mode. So drop down apply, you can Control A to apply, or you can object convert mesh to apply. Any of those options. And then you can do away with your sphere, or sometimes it's called the drill object. And then you can get back into edit mode, and then you can have a good time with your Boolean operations. Booleans are great for creating negative space. Booleans are great for joining two objects together. So say if we had a mug with a handle that we wanted to join, Boolean's great for that. Say we had a box that we wanted to hollow out the inside of, Booleans could be a good option for that as well. Sometimes creating like etching on the side of a pot, a vase, a mug, something like that can be done with Booleans also. So if you recall from previous videos, perhaps that Maryville M, when placed against this cube, can create a negative space of that M being drilled through or drilled from this object. So those all things can all work together. I'll give you one more demo of a Boolean because I get this one quite a lot. Let's say I'm going to go ahead and need two more objects. Add cube and add cube. I get this one a whole lot. And it's to try and create this type of shape. And it's good for a Boolean operation. Add modifier, Boolean. Oops, let's put that on the right one, shall we? Add modifier, Boolean on the larger cube, or at least the one that's surrounding the other. And then I drop the other cube, turn this guy off, and then this type of shape, this hollowed out square torus type shape, is frequently requested, especially by new students, and you can get that very conveniently and easily with the Boolean operation. There you are.